So one of the places that people might hear my voice in their head, you know how I hear certain people, they have phrases, and when I think of that phrase, I hear their voice. So one of them for this one that you might get from coming this month or beyond is just let it go. So to remember in any moment, no matter what's going on, no matter what our level of stress that is, whether it's real or perceived, whether we've had enough sleep the night before or not, or feel that we haven't, whether we're in an uncomfortable situation or a very nurturing and loving situation, to remember that all of that will pass, the highs and the lows. So the yoga, in essence, is about learning to smooth out those highs and lows and to realize that we can equally feel the highs as we can the lows, and allowing ourselves both of those experiences. The yoga gives us a framework in which to experience it. And for us in our body, this is what the Hatha addresses. Oftentimes we have injury or insult to the body. And Hatha yoga, when practiced with breath awareness, allows us to get into, to feel what's going on so that we can use it as a guide to see where we are out of alignment. And when we're talking bodily systems, we're talking alignment with our skeletal system. There's alignment. You might hear people talk about alignment to the will of the divine, or alignment to those around you, or alignment to the circumstances that are occurring for you. There's all kinds of alignments. And this takes practice to bring our awareness. So we use tools such as the breath or the positioning of the body. And if we're stiff and contracted, and we're impeded from being able to feel or to be able to align, we need to be able to feel where we're out of alignment and be honest with ourselves about it. It might not be where a part of us wants to be. It might not be where our mind says we used to be. So it's an opportunity to really honor where you are in any given moment, at any given stage of life. Of any given set of circumstances, whatever went on yesterday that contributed to today. Did I overdo it? Did I push myself too hard? Did I not do enough? Was there more I could have done during the day? And to let all that mind chatter, all that story, to let it go on if it's going to go on, because our minds sometimes go on like that. And yet we can still be here now. And if we begin to focus on the breath and watch, so if in my bringing up your breath made you become aware of your breath, notice if you were breathing in or out through the mouth or through the nostrils. Basic breath awareness. Every time your mind latches onto a thought that is somewhere else, doing something else, a loving and gentle way to bring the awareness back to the breath is to ask the mind, was that on the inhalation or the exhalation? Now, as long as we're not chastising ourselves, thinking that we know which way is the better way, and if we simply use it as a tool to bring our awareness back to the breath, the mind loves to please us. So it's going to want to get back to that breath awareness because that's the task we're giving it today. Every time the mind wanders, we can ask if that was on the inhalation or the exhalation when we realize that we're out there in that thought. And in that place, we can just let it go. And let's not fool ourselves. This is a constant process, practice. That's why they call it practice. And in the end, practice falls away and it becomes our second nature, what we do, how we are, in sync with each other, that alignment we were talking about. And then we let go of the thoughts of alignment and just let it go, watching the natural, effortless, uncontrolled flow of the breath through the nostrils. Let's inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, make a sound. If a sound comes, ha, 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 whatever it is. Might be smooth, it might be a phone ding. If that was somebody's phone, perhaps they could turn that off, or if that was the camera hobby, you may need to make an adjustment. Inhale. Whatever sound is asking to be shared, asking to come out. Maybe soft, it may be Jacqueline's working with it. She's working it. She's working it, girlfriends. She's providing, Jacqueline's phone is providing the sound bath for us today. It's so popular you'll see a lot of yoga classes, Hatha yoga classes, particularly with sound baths included, added, incorporated. We have sound here too with our harmonium and these guys. Let's om with our sound. So we're going to inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale and soften. Inhale again, and we're going to share in ohms after this. That's going to be the sound you'll hear. Let's do that all over again. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale and soften. Inhale again, and we'll share in ohms. Letting the sound emanate without making anything happen. Inhaling. How are those ohms felt to you? Feeling them connecting to the ohms in the room, the ohms beyond, weaving an energy spiral of love and light spiraling upward, and feeling that energy reflected back down, enveloping us in its warmth and light. Namaste. And thank you. So are there any questions or sharing if there's something, a challenge going on in the body today, or you have a success that you want to share, or anything that comes up today, please? Are you a pain in the neck anywhere? What is this looking to reflect back to you? Uh-huh. Gotcha. Beautiful. So I invite you, what I shared earlier is I invite you to be gentle and loving, because you, for one, are a person who has a lot of room for movement in your body typically. And so it's a different experience to be limited. And I can feel that place for myself when I get there. It gets me to the point that if it's so severe, I have no other option than to be gentle and loving. So that's where we start with the beginning practice. It's a practice of gentle, loving kindness to self. Good, good. Anyone else? Yes. And is yours a figurative or physical? Okay. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Is it sharp and or is it dull? Okay. So as you move it, it doesn't give you a kind of experience. Have you ever, or was it like that before though, or and it's moved into dull, or has it been dull? And was it okay? Yeah, totally, totally. I feel you. So yeah, great. What a great place to start. So I guess what comes up for me is, because I am a physical person, the place of challenge sometimes when I'm still in my physical self is being able to relax and to let go. And at the same time, as I've aged, I've noticed that that happens more easily. And that the sooner that I can relax, because I had something happen in my sacrum where this was just about a year and a half ago now. It might be two. It's hard to tell time where, but I do remember it was December though. So it was a year and a half or two and a half, but I think it was a year and a half ago. And it was intense and sharp. And then it took about 3 weeks before I had the first movement that it started to go, oh. And as that happened, then there was more spaciousness for healing. And so it's a call to find that place for ourselves in each moment. And if I come around and or verbally make a suggestion, or I touch you, is that okay to touch? Great. That, and I didn't ask you that yes, I did. I asked you that last week, and I've asked. So if something doesn't feel good, if you're ever in a Hatha yoga class, because I always recommend try many different styles. Sometimes we need more vigorous, and sometimes in this practice in standing wave, we we have more vigorous practices. Sometimes that's what we need, and sometimes we need gentle back off. And it's finding in the vigorous practice, finding what back off is for you. And that changes as we age. It changes with a condition. And the condition is there for us to learn something. So to learn something either about the way we've been doing it, the way we've been holding ourselves, the way we took something in and let it lodge there maybe, or an emotion that gets stuck, or a food or an allergy, or whatever it is. And so it's there for information. So what's been shared with me is that the pain can be an ally. So where the exploration is today for those of us that are feeling certain things going on. I'm in my precarious space now with my sacrum, but precarious is way better than critical, where I had been. So we get to play with that for ourselves and where we are and honor what that is today. So, alrighty. Well, then I will have you come onto your backs, and we're going to be in Shavasana a bit. So if it feels cool to anybody, I did turn this on, but I have forgotten it. Yeah, if it feels cool to anybody, oh, it's looking good. Let me know. If it feels too warm or you want air, I can open up a window or whatever. And we got Javi back in the corner zone there. And allow yourself to just let it go. Notice how your body is on the floor. If it's intense for your legs to be straight, there's a couple of options. We can put blankets or pillows, bolster. We have nice bolsters here. You can indicate if you want me to bring you a blanket or bolster and put those under your knees. You can also bend your knees, open your feet out, and let the knees drop together. So eye pillows, if you want eye pillows, raise a hand and we'll bring you an eye pillow. Lavender scented, Javi says. I made 2 hands raised. And I believe Javi actually, a little plug here, I believe that Javi had some out in the last week, that there are some that are available. Yeah, I think I saw a sign with a there it is in the front. So anyway, little plug. So while you're breathing, you're going to really love it when you're in the final relaxation with those. But for now, breathe in this lovely scent, because actually aromatherapy has been part of my explorations. And I have a feeling, something to it. The nose, the olfactory sense, the nose and the smell goes directly to your brain. So anything you take in, there's no filters aside from the little cilias and all those fun things that are inside the nostrils. But that will give your brain the signal. So lavender, many of us know it as the relaxing herb that it is. And now we're going to bring our awareness to our body. Yeah, notice that when I said that, if that brought your attention to any specific place, or if there was a part of your body that felt like it needed movement. If your legs are extended, notice if your feet are close together, or if you opened them out a good foot to 2 feet apart. Remember, this is gentle practice. If at any moment you're feeling the need to shift and change and adjust your position, go ahead and do that. Yeah, adding a layer here or there. And also, if it helps you, Jeannie, you can lay that blanket across and your arms will be, well, that might work. There you go. That might be enough. Very good. And just let it go, feeling all the points of the body in contact with the floor, and just let it go. And now notice the breath in and out. See if you can feel your breath through the nostrils, in, through the nostrils, out. Notice if that was not your pattern of breathing. If you were in or out through the mouth, anywhere in that cycle, and see if you can bring the awareness to the nostril breathing and just let it go. Natural flow of the breath. There's no past breath to compare it to. There's no future breath to anticipate. Not a current breath to concern yourself with. Only the now breath. And can your awareness of this now breath become so great that it fills your consciousness, and just let it go? It's okay to fall asleep. It's okay to drift off into another state. Whatever shows up for you, can that be okay with you today? Sometimes what we need is that letting go. Sometimes that letting go is in the form of falling asleep. Sometimes it's in the form of tears. Sometimes it's in the form of shaking in our body when we're in a particular position because we're waking up cells and muscles and tissue that maybe has been asleep or is hiding. Allowing whatever shows up today to show up. Now, can you bring your awareness to the breath and take that into your body? So a couple of you shared that you have particular places in your body, both of them in the neck, opposite sides, that you're experiencing today. Notice if that's where your attention is being called, or maybe it's being called somewhere entirely different. So for you today in your body, this body that has come in today, where is the attention drawn? I like to imagine that the breath is taking a tour of my body. Each inhalation, each exhalation reveals a story, a truth, a happening, an awareness that's going on in this vessel. Each vessel that's in this room is unique from the other vessels. Some are animate, some are inanimate. See if you can feel your body as though it's a vessel that is being breathed, and you're watching that breath flow in and out through the nostrils. And on the inhalation, bring your awareness to that place or those places where your attention has been drawn, and send the breath as you exhale, send the breath to that place and dive beneath it and touch the love that you already are. You are the infinite, eternal, perfect, divine, pure love. Can you let the rest go? Nobody had to tell you when you were a little baby those words. And if you go and you look at an infant, you will get the sense that that's where they're coming from. They know that place. They feel that place. And through the process of life and conditioning and stories we've been told, stories we tell ourselves, true or untrue, we can cover over that realization, and we have the opportunity now to remember, to add that back into our body, the truth of ourselves as the infinite, eternal, perfect, divine, pure love. And let the rest go. Just let it go. So you really thought you were coming here today to necessarily move your body. Maybe you came here thinking you were going to get more flexible in your body, and you may. That could happen. What's important for this one is that you become more aware of the body and what's going on. Sometimes if we have challenge or ecstatic experience, we lose that connection to the body. And believe it or not, we were given this body here on this earth, and we have the option of experiencing the body and treating the body as a temple, so that when we ask it to serve us in whatever way, we get the greatest benefit. It's of the greatest use to us. Some of us have karmically come into this life where our bodies might not function in their completely aligned manner. And our opportunity, our task, if you will, is to find these out and to either cut it out or to find something else, another way of being, another way of moving that serves us at a higher level. And it's a process. Our breath is the start of the process. It's the foundation of the process. It's the beginning, middle, and end of the process. The breath is the process. And you are that breath. That breath animates the body, creates what we call you, or you call I, or there's all kinds of, I think the right word is pronouns that are being bantered around these days. Or however you identify this mind, body, being. The breath is what breathes life into it. We come in on an inhale, we go out on an exhale. And you have a multitude of inhales and exhales for practice in between. How lovingly, how gently, how gracefully are we going to experience the inhales and exhales when we're not gentle, when we're not loving, when it's not feeling graceful? How much grace can we give ourselves to open up, expand, and include that in the picture? And in so doing, it shifts it to a space of grace. And now we're going to move into more of a guided, I call it guided breath, because It is, well, it's the breath that we were born breathing. And if you look at an infant, you will really see them able to breathe what we call diaphragmatically, or some people call three-part breathing, where that once was innate in us. We often are no longer in that space. Let me say that a different way. We often cut ourselves off from that innate flow of breath through the body. And so we have to use our awareness. We have to use our what some people might call will to feel movement in our body, or we might use our hands physically and place them on our body to feel if we're having difficulty. So I'm going to describe the places that we're going to breathe into. First, if we are breathing the natural flow of the breath, that usually opens up the abdomen so that the inhale, our belly expands, our exhale, the belly falls. If we're not in that space and maybe our breath, our chest is lifting and falling, we want to then bring our awareness further down. I like to imagine pubic bone and see if I can breathe and feel my pubic bone. If it's helpful to you, you can exhale your right hand to your abdomen and see if you can get maybe a finger onto the pubic bone so you can feel like the pinky there, if that's your anatomy. If your anatomy is such that there's a different part of you touching, that's fine. And see if you can feel that breath that allows that awareness to come down into the abdomen, and see if you can feel the belly rising and falling. If you're not feeling that, then the simple act of putting your intention there, science is finding out, will change it. Or science is corroborating, let me put it that way. Science is corroborating that your awareness, where you put your awareness, your intention, the actual awareness moves to that place. You might start getting brain neurons firing that can be measured and seen. You can simply notice it. And now see if you can bring your awareness to move the breath, if you need, to move the breath upward. You may just come right on out and you inhale and the belly expands, and then the rib cage, you feel it open up and expand a little. That may be so for you. And then as you exhale, see if you can let that rib cage fall and the abdomen fall. Again, if it's not actually physically happening in your body, it's okay to guide this, send your intention, whatever words feel right to you. See if we can stop this side of making it happen, though, and staying in the zone of allowal. That's going to be our subtle difference. This particular Hatha yoga practice, when practiced in a dedicated way, can lead you to opening up and allowing in so many spaces in our lives. And it can start with the body. It's a great place to start. And now let's bring the awareness. First, your mental awareness to your chest. And see if as you inhale, you can let the breath build from the base of the torso. That was the abdomen and the rib cage. And then see if you can feel it move up towards your sternum and your chest. If it feels helpful for you, you can exhale your left hand to your chest. And I like to have my hand high enough up that I'm near the notch in the neck with some part of my hand anatomy. That serves as a physical prompt, serves as a guide for where I'm looking to feel that in my body, or I may simply feel all that 3 parts of the breath into the abdomen as I inhale, up to the rib cage and up to the chest. And as I exhale, I might just feel that moving back down, letting go in the chest, the rib cage, and the belly. If you picture a wave, for those of us that relate to the ocean, if you consulted a timetable for high and low tide, or if you simply sat and watched, you will notice that each wave comes either a little higher or a little lower, on its way up and on its way down, until it reaches its zenith, its apex, or its high tide or low tide, those extremes. If we imagine ourselves gently, we gradually move into those spaces just as the ocean does. I'm going to see if that's simply wind. Excuse me, be in your breath, deep diaphragmatic breath, in and out, because the Hatha yoga is no good if it doesn't get you in your life off the mat. Aha. We once had a jackhammers going outside class, and we were invited to be in our own space with that going on outside. And now bringing the awareness, if you've had your hands on your body, you can inhale and let them float down to the floor, backs of the hands, moving to the sides once again. And bring the awareness of this diaphragmatic breath to the back of the body, inhaling into the base of the spine and all the way up, exhaling back down. We're mirroring the movement in the front of the body. Remember that the most important aspect of Hatha yoga is the breath. Ultimately, we can let go of the physical movement and feel an entire practice in our body, in our breath awareness. Breathe that breath up the back of the body, let the breath splash over the armpits, drain down the arms and out the hands, and just let it go. This next inhalation, feeling the breath coming into the base of the spine, all the way up to the shoulders. The shoulders get so full with the breath, it crowds right up into the neck. The neck gets so full with the breath, it crowds right up into the base of the skull. And on the exhalation, can you feel the back of the neck lengthening and softening, the chin moving towards the notch in the neck, creating the passageway for the mind to slip back down to the heart, returning to its source. If you need to inhale or exhale before I finish my words, please simply follow with your breath where you are in the breath, and follow whatever the direction was that you heard or that comes to you. Inhaling into the hips, now we're going to breathe up the sides of the body, adding the dimension of the sides of the body on the exhalation. Feel the breath as it exits, and just let it go. Inhaling into the hips, filling the pelvic girdle with the breath. On the exhalation, feeling the pelvic girdle become soft, porous, and translucent, allowing the light of the divine through you. We hold so much in our hips, so much tension that we're not even aware. It can affect not just down our legs, it can affect up our spines. Your neck is part of the spine. And so as we address and open up each end of the spine, we can feel more spaciousness, more love for self and others. And one more deep inhalation into the center of your being. And on the exhalation, can you feel yourself moving out in all directions, multidimensionally, simultaneously, with no boundaries? What does it feel like to experience no boundaries and just let it go? So for those of you that do better with seeing, I'm going to give you a different treat today, and I'm going to take you through the practice, and I will be doing it this time because I'm going to move through it a little faster. It's something I like to share, and since today is the final of the Standing Wave beginning series, I'm going to be moving through it with fewer breaths than we did before. Would you like some Kleenex? Okay. That's why you put your long sleeves on. So, allowing yourself to come into your body with the breath, moving your feet a little bit here. Wake up those legs. Inhale and activate the legs, bringing the legs together. Now, you want to activate your feet. What does that mean? That means they're flexed. So I'm pointing my toes toward the ceiling. I'm going to inhale my arms across the floor and above the head. If my shoulders blades have to come off, well, then I don't go all the way right to my ears there. I just stop at a V or at cactus arms, wherever my body is in the moment. Inhale and exhale. Left leg, knee towards the chest. Reach up and cradle with both hands. Now, if you've got your hands around your knee and your neck is rounded and bent so that your chin comes up, back off, bring it behind the thigh. Maybe even that's too much. Whatever it is, we're going to breathe and feel that left heel as much in alignment with the left buttock as we can, so it's not drawn into the groin, but rather out. We're going to inhale the left arm at shoulder height, and exhale, breathe the knee over to the right side into a spinal twist. So I am going to look up, though, and make sure everybody's feeling on track. Good. Left arm extends out, so your left shoulder can come off the floor and let your head roll to the left. Breathe that deep diaphragmatic breath in that left side of your body. Good. That right leg is extended, foot flexed. Inhale the knee back up to center and reach up and cradle the knee behind the thigh or around the knee. And when I say cradle, that image of a newborn child, how gently and lovingly would you cradle that child? We're going to inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with breath. Exhale, draw your left knee away from you, straightening the arms, and then let your heart lift off the floor, keeping the chin tucked. Let that heart lift. Now, some people come all the way up. Others are where they are. Yeah, bring your knee away from you, though. This is a little different, Jeannie. No, into your hands towards your feet. No, move your hands where they are and come up like this. So I'm straightening my arms using my leg. That's it. There you go. Beautiful. And then let your head roll back down. Inhale. Good. We're going to place our left foot on the floor, so your left knee is bent. Drop the left knee open. Breathe it. Good. Now feel your hip points. Are they square to the ceiling there? Is one higher than the other? Yeah. Play with that alignment. You can move the left leg up and down. You can check your right leg. Did it go to sleep and it's rolling out to the side? If so, activate. Draw the sole of the foot so that it's perpendicular to the leg. Exhale, feeling the knee come back up to the center. Reach up, cradle one more time, gently and lovingly. Good, and now we're going to take the right hand, slide it down your left shin. Right hand, left shin, everybody got it. Okay, now as you inhale, raise your shin towards parallel to the ceiling, if that makes sense to you. Inhale, the left knee open. Good, that's it. That's it. Yes, very nice, Autumn. Breathe that left knee away from you, and now breathe the foot a little bit across so that your left thigh comes in line with the left side of the body. Yeah, without letting the foot fall. That's it. So you're going to come across this way. Let's see. This hand comes over here. There we go. And then you can place that on your knee to open. And then at the same time, where's your breath and lift? And at the same time, it's beautiful, really nice. And your play here is, so you're almost flexed. There's this. You feel the difference how it activates the arch here. Yeah, beautiful. Same on this one. You can do that there too. Yeah. Yeah. And how you doing with that left knee away from you? Is this really intense? Is that good? Yeah, good. Good. All right. And for the next, we're going to bring that heel onto, so the right heel then comes onto your left thigh. Place the heel on your thigh. Now, if that's easy for you and you can actually place your heel all the way up at your hip point, go for it. Most of us, many, and I won't say most, many of us that doesn't work. So we keep it a little lower. And then inhale your right knee down towards the floor and in towards the right knee. So you're opening up here. That's it. And if you can, Jeannie, for you, you might be able to bring your heel all the way up and do that, but your knees might say no. And that's okay. Yeah, and keep dropping your, let's see. I'm sorry, I said right, but I really meant left. Left knee, so you all did it though. Left heel onto right thigh. Okay, we're going to exhale that knee up. Release your right hand and bring your left hand inside the leg. So you have to open your knee out to the side. Yeah, for those of us who have trouble following directions, it's such a practice. And then translating it to our own bodies. Okay, so the left knee is out at a 45-degree angle from my spine, and I have my heel stacked on top of my buttock. Beautiful. Autumn, you're past 45 degrees, you're at 90. We're going back to school. Very nice, Jacqueline. There we go. Yeah, beautiful, Chantal. You too, Jeannie. That's great. Who says you didn't need geometry to practice Hatha yoga? All right, we're going to inhale the right arm across the floor. If you can, straighten alongside your right ear and anchor your right side with the breath. Always feeling for those feet flexed. Coming back to that after the breath. Always breath first, then flexed feet. All right, we're going to take a hold. Either you can wrap your left arm behind your left knee. You can bring your left hand to your shin or to the outer edge of the foot. Inhale the sole of the foot toward the ceiling, and I'm bending my knee down towards the floor. Imagine half of a dead bug. That's it. Yeah, keep opening the knee out as best you can around you while keeping your shin perpendicular to the ceiling. That girl geometry again. Nice. How are your necks doing, ladies? Good. Okay, and now we're going to let go of the foot and joyously extend it skyward. And I'm moving the leg in the hip socket. My hip is what moves and rotates so that as the leg rotates, my foot follows like a windshield wiper. I inhale, toes point left. Exhale, toes point right. And seeing if I can keep my leg, either if it's down low or toward the ceiling, without rocking. It's just rotating. No rocking, only rotating. That's it. Very nice. Notice which way is easier for you or which way is more restricted in your movement. We're going to inhale, rotate those toes open, and then let the leg come out and down. You want the outer edge of the foot to touch the floor while keeping your hip points square to the ceiling. So you may need to lower that leg in order to keep those hip points square. If that left leg is so high up that it's pulling your hip point down towards the floor, then back off. Give yourself some grace. Inhale, extend through the leg and exhale it back to the ceiling. And then rotate the leg in the hip socket with the breath. Inhaling, opening the hip. Exhaling, closing, and the foot follows. Good. We're going to inhale, both arms out at shoulder height. Rotate that leg open, and as you exhale with a nice straight leg, come across the body into spinal twist. Your body loves this. It knows this. You probably do something like this on your own. You can let the head roll to the left, rolling into the twist. Very nice. The beginning practice is probably the best practice when we're in distress in the body. All happens on the floor, gentle. We can be as challenging as we want or as gentle and loving. Inhale, the leg comes back up. We're going to bring the hands up behind the thigh. Inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. And like you did with the knee bent, drop your left foot towards the floor. Use that to straighten the arms and lift from your heart. Nice, beautiful. Yeah, that looks so good. That looks so gentle and loving, and yet you're building your core right here. Inhale and release. Let the leg go, let the arms go. Come back to the floor. Core building is truly the most loving practice we have. And learning to move in our everyday life from that space. That's what these practices are about. The Hatha Yoga adds a level of breath awareness to coordinate. The left side of the body, can you feel it? Yeah, it's been enlivened, awakened maybe. Blood flow on a physical level, all of it, lymph flow. Well, let's activate the legs, drawing them together. Arms across the floor and above the head so that we can joyously exhale our right knee towards our chest and reach up and cradle the right knee gently and lovingly. And by gentle and loving, we mean that the alignment looks like left foot flexed, feeling the energy down from the groin out the arch, feeling your right heel bisecting the right buttock. So the heel might feel that might make it feel like your heel is kicking outward a little bit, but as long as you're in that alignment, it's right where you want to be. And breathing, deep diaphragmatic breath here. Are your shoulders relaxed? Are you pulling on your leg? Are you pushing your head towards your knee? Or are you cradling like a newborn child? If we learn to hold ourselves in gentle, loving kindness, we get to step out of the cycle of lessons that need to be repeated, and we can move on to something else. It might be the same issue, simply at a different level. And as we let go of that which no longer serves us, we can find what that is. We can feel into what that is. We're going to come into a spinal twist by inhaling our right arm out at shoulder height and bringing the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Exhale, spinal twist. Now your right shoulder can come off the floor. That's fine. If you feel like it's not supposed to, ask who that is. And breathe into it, let it happen, and then what you'll find is that you'll start to feel with each breath that shoulder releases down. Now, you may be all the way there in your spinal twist on the floor, and that's fine. Check your extended left leg. Is it extended or is it bent now? Can you feel the energy out the arch? Is the foot flexed? Is your head rolling to the right to be part of this twist? We're going to inhale the knee back up to the center and reach up to cradle wherever is appropriate for your anatomy. Feel your alignment of your legs, your feet. Inhale, and if you can remember how it went on the other side, which you can the right side learn from that, we are going to inhale and fill all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. On the exhalation, draw the right knee away from you, down towards your right foot, extending those arms, and feel your heart lift. Coming through the heart, that's it. Beautiful. And as you inhale, feel the head roll back, shoulders, head touch the floor. And we're going to take the left hand, slide it down the shin, and taking a hold of the ankle. On top of that ankle, you're going to release your right hand. You can touch the inside of your right knee if you would like. Inhale the shin towards parallel to the ceiling. Inhale and open your right knee out like it's a gate that's opening, and come across the body a little bit. Enough so, if it's possible in your anatomy, that your right thigh can be in line with the right side of the body. Beautiful. Notice for yourself if this side is more open or more closed or tighter than the other side. Just notice. Notice if the knee tends to come back towards your head, and breathe it open. If the knee tends to come back out towards the right, and breathe it across. It's a very active pose, this one. And then as I described when we were on the other side, this time you are taking your right heel, placing it on your left thigh. If it feels good to you, you can draw that heel all the way up to your left hip point. Either way. And then inhale the right knee down and away from you. If you can be holding on to your ankle while the foot is flexed, then that's fine, or the foot while the foot is holding on to the foot while the foot is flexed, that's fine. And you're breathing that knee down and away. Good. Exhale the knee. That's not something we do in everyday life too much. Exhale the knee back up to the center. Then open the knee out, let go with your left hand and bring your right hand inside the leg, taking a hold of your knee, shin, ankle, or even the outer edge of your foot. And this is where we want to find that 45-degree angle from the spine with the heel stacked on the buttock. That's it. Yeah, drop it down. You got it. And then the left arm, we breathe it up towards our ear. Anchor that left side with the breath. Inhale the sole of the foot toward the ceiling, knee down toward the floor. If you need, you can simply wrap your hand behind your right knee. You can come up to your shin or ankle. You can even bring the hand to the outer edge of the foot. You want to breathe that right knee open while you have the shin toward the ceiling. That's it. Yeah, so this is our half a dead bug pose. Anchor that left side with the breath. Some of us can feel really open in this. Some of us can feel really tight in this. Breathe into it. Breath through the nostrils, in and out. Yeah. Releasing the leg, inhaling, extending the leg toward the ceiling. And breathe that range of the motion in the leg and the hip socket. So your leg is simply rotating open and closed. Nice, everybody. Inhale, breathe it, rotating open. Exhale, breathe it, rotating closed. Beautiful. And next time you breathe the toes open, let the leg come out and down to the right, outer edge of the foot, heading towards the floor. Now remember, if you've got your leg really high up and it's pulling your right hip down towards the floor and your left buttock off, you want to lower the leg and come back up so that those hip points can be parallel. You can touch them with your hands if you would like. Feel those hip points parallel to the ceiling. Good. Let your foot come all the way to the floor, Jeannie. Rest it. Yeah, so you may not be so high up, and that's fine. Good, everybody. So we're keeping our core active by keeping our feet active, yet at the same time, this isn't a strength pose. This is an opening. This is pure surrender right here. Inhale, extend through the leg. Exhale the leg back up. If it becomes difficult to keep the leg up, you can always lower it as you rotate. You can still rotate the leg in the hip socket and be right above the floor is fine too. Feel where your movement is impinged in this joint. Feel where it's going too far beyond ideal. Inhale the arms out to shoulder height, opening those toes out, and we're going to exhale into our spinal twist, straight legs. Both legs straight, both feet flexed. The right shoulder can come off the floor. Breathe the head to the right. Inner gaze extended over those extended right fingertips. On your next inhalation, leg's going to come back up to center. Reach up and cradle with both hands. And whoops, not quite yet. Let's reach up. Let your hands come back down. Breathe the leg range of motion. You know, where once I might have, and I still sometimes do, judging myself for missing something. I'm learning how to laugh at it. All right, inhale, both arms up at shoulder height, opening those toes out. And we're going to do that spinal twist again. Come back to spinal twist. Like that. We don't do it too often in the beginning practice, but when you repeat in poses, you get to feel, sometimes I feel like this iteration, I went more into it. I just fell right there into that space. We're going to inhale the leg back up. Now we're going to reach up behind the thigh. Inhale and fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with breath. And on the exhalation, let the leg come down towards the floor, right leg towards the floor, extending those arms, and let that lift your heart. Are you breathing? Yeah, nice. You're the only one in this body that can feel it. Enjoy it. Okay, on the inhalation, let the head come back and release the leg, arms, everything returning to the floor, coming to Shavasana again. And just let it go. And now see if you can feel the activation on that right side of the body, all that movement of energy, of blood, of lymph, of muscle, of tendon, all of it. And just let it go. Let it sink deeply into the floor. And let's bring those two sides together as we activate the legs, drawing them together, toes pointed toward the ceiling, inhaling the arms across the floor and above the head now as evenly as you possibly can. Engage your abdomen and then draw the knees up towards the chest as evenly as possible. Reach up, cradle. And again, that cradling is a cradling of the newborn so that your neck can be long and extended. We're going to release our left arm and bring it out to shoulder height, palm faces upward. Exhale and drop the knees, one on top of the other to the right side. You can guide it with the left knee, excuse me, your right hand on your left knee. And let that left shoulder come up off the floor so that you can line up your knees one on top of the other. And once they're lined up, then breathe and let the head roll to the left and let that shoulder come toward the floor. Now, you may be one that has their knees directly lined up and their shoulders already on the floor. And you may be anywhere in between. Can you be where you are and breathe? Can you feel that diaphragmatic breath as it moves into the left side here? Inhaling, the knees come up to center. And we're going to exhale, switching your arms. You're going to exhale the knees down to the left side. If you've got something going on in your back, you just might want to back off here. Also, I have people hand on the waist or on your hip. It's all good. Inhale the knees back up to the center. And now you're going to either cross the left knee over the right or the left ankle over the right ankle, whichever works for you. Inhale the left arm out at shoulder height, palm up. Exhale the knees towards the chest first and then down towards the right side. So if you can, keep those feet in the air as you move into this twist. It's okay to have your feet on the floor too. It's simply a different twist, and it may be where you need to start. Maybe too much to have the feet off the floor, and that's fine. Inhale the knees up to center. And we're going to uncross, recross for the right over the left, either the knee or the ankle. Inhale the right arm out at shoulder height. Exhale the knees down to the right side, left side. You can guide the right knee with the left hand. Letting the head roll into the twist. Where's that diaphragmatic breath? Can you feel it in the right side, expanding and opening? We're going to inhale the knees up and keep them crossed as they are. So the right is over the left. We're going to inhale the left arm at shoulder height. Exhale, if you can, the knees towards the chest, then down towards the floor. And let the head roll to the left. So this, you can feel, isn't more of an extreme left hip twist. Taking it at the level that's appropriate for you today. And we're going to inhale the knees back up to the center. Uncross, and now we're going to recross the left over the right. Inhale the right arm out at shoulder height. Did I do? Yes. And exhale the knees down to the left side. And how does that feel? As you breathe, let yourself soften into the twist. Let yourself soften so that a foot can move towards the floor and a hand can move towards the floor. And you may be somewhere balancing in between. We're going to inhale the knees back up and open the knees out. So uncross and then open your knees out. Reach up with your hands inside the legs, reaching down to your ankles, your knees, shins, ankles, or the outer edges of the feet. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to splay out, and you want you to feel your neck long, a natural extension of that spine. It's almost going to feel like you have your chin tucked down. And now, drawing the shoulders towards the floor, we're going to squeeze them up towards the ears, tighter, tighter, tighter. Your knees will probably come up around your ears a little more. And release. Soles of the feet come together. The knees splay outward. And again, inhale, shoulders towards the floor. Squeeze them up towards the ears, keeping the head on the floor. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Exhale and release. Soles of the feet come together. The knees splay outward. And again, inhale, shoulders towards the floor. Squeeze them up tightly towards the ears. Tighter, tighter, tighter. Exhale and release. Soles of the feet come together. The knees splay outward. And please allow the awareness to rest on the full even flow of a deep diaphragmatic breath. That's it. Breath in and out through the nostrils. Lovely, everybody. Feeling that sacrum rolling towards the floor, extending the entire length of the spine. And for our next pose, we're going to open up the feet towards the ceiling, keeping the knees bent. Inhale, and then reaching up wherever. You can be behind your knees, you can be outer edges of your feet, or anywhere in between, and drop those knees towards the floor. Knees open out, shins perpendicular if you can to the ceiling and to the floor. And breathe it, good. Rolling that sacrum towards the floor. Yep, and if you care to, Jacqueline's rocking side to side. Happy baby. If you'd like to rock it, you may. And those happy babies, remember they're breathing diaphragmatically, so are you. And we're coming back to our back. And then let go of the hands and extend the legs joyously skyward. Flex those feet, press through the heels, press, press. Inhale, open the legs out. You can bring the hands to the inside of the thighs or to the outside and open into a straddle. Press the energy out through the feet. Press it out through the feet. Beautiful. Bring the legs together as you exhale. Inhale, fill the spine and all the spaces between the vertebrae with the breath. And on the exhalation, draw the legs down, chest up, coming towards a V. I'm not going to come up into boat, but we may have a few folks who do. Here's boat right here. You want to reach for those toes, engage, engage, engage. Feel the breastbone lifting and release. Come on down onto your back, Shavasana, for a moment here and just let it go. And for our closing series, we're going to come into fish pose. And what fish pose looks like is bringing your hands, palms facing downward, thumb and forefinger touching, if that's an option, and bring it way down, like you're going to have your index fingers peeking out between your legs there, way down. To start, you can keep the legs straight and flex your feet. Inhale, tuck your elbows in, lift and arch the spine, lift the chest, and drop the head back. Some people like to have their feet in diamond for this. That's fine. I like to start with my legs extended so I can really press that energy out, letting the toxins cleanse and clear that have been stirred up in the practice. And release. Now we're going to take the hands out from underneath us, bringing the arms across the floor if we can, thumb and forefinger touching, having our shoulders relaxed on the floor, elbows opened out, and the soles of the feet together, the knees splaying outward. Doesn't matter if our toes are touching. We want to have the entire metatarsal, that's the base of your big toe, to the base of your little toe touching, and the toes relaxed wherever they are. Lengthen the neck and let go of anger, frustration, tension, and anxiety from the being, and just let it go. Modifying any of the movement or any of the pose for whatever's going on in your body so that you can release the tension. It might mean opening up the arms into cactus because it's pinching or you're pushing through a place that needs to soften. And just let it go. Inhale, extending through the legs and the arms. And we'll have a final spinals, first with your left knee. So exhale your left knee towards the chest, and then place your left foot on top of your right knee. Inhale the left arm at shoulder height, and exhale, guide the knee down with the right hand to the right side. So if you recall, we opened with this twist, And see where it feels in your body now, what's going on and what's so. Inhaling the knee back up. And extend the leg down. Inhale the arms across the floor, active feet, legs together. Exhale the right knee up, reach up. And place that right foot on top of the left knee. Right arm out at shoulder height. And exhale the knee down to the left side. Let it go. And inhaling the knee back up. Exhale your left knee alongside the right knee. And this time we are going to exhale our head up and squeeze our knees towards our head towards the knees, and rock and roll. You can roll around on your spine. You can rock it backwards and forwards. You can come all the way over to the side, however feels good. And getting ourselves gently back towards Shavasana. Whatever version of Shavasana works for you. You may feel a difference in your body from before this movement, the Shavasana that we started with. And let's see, yes, we all have eye pillows. This is a good time for the eye pillows. It's a good time to cover up. Make sure you're warm enough. And let those feet come apart. If your legs are straight, let those feet be a foot to 2 feet apart. Let the hips be relaxed so that the feet splay open. The arms are away from the sides with the palms up. And the fingers are relaxed. And now you're noticing the body on the floor, everywhere that the body contacts the floor. Feel yourself sink deeply in and just let it go, letting the natural flow of the breath through the nostrils be your guide to relaxation, and just let it go. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Ishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Jase. Open my heart to the power of grace that lives in us as goodness that never is absent and radiates peace and lights the way to transformation. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Se Niralambaya Jase Niralambaya Jase. And bringing the awareness back to the breath, coming back to the body, wiggling the fingers and the toes and rotating the wrists and the ankles. Inhaling, activating the legs, drawing them together, arms across the floor above the head for one final long stretch. And exhaling the knees towards the chest. We're going to roll to the left side. You can give yourself a hug with the right arm and hand. Let the head rest on the left arm. Acknowledging yourself for coming today. Putting your body on the floor in love of self. And gently pressing back up to a seated position. Open up the flesh on the sit bones. Reach under there with the hands. Inhale and lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften. Inhale again, and we'll share an Om's. Ooh. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you for coming today and sharing your love of self. The most generous act we can perform. Thank you for the donations which truly support the work. Value the yoga, respect yourselves, and honor the divine. Namaste.